Hey you guys, Crazy Lazy 1212 here, bringing you another draft video. M19. Looking at this first pack, there's not much going on here. Like, we have the Engineer, which is really good. Bone to Ash, we want to go control. Sky March Bullet Letter, which is a fine card, as well as Luminous Bond. There isn't anything that's standing out too much to play first. So playing in the dark, I think I'll just take the Engineer. Engineer is very good. Sure, it's a double color, but blue-white artifacts is a thing, and I think it's worth to take here, even if we don't play the card. I think it's still splashable, even if we go into like the green blue shell and play a little artifacts, but we're not passing too much here. That's would be crippling if we don't take it. So I'm gonna speculate on the Pioneer. Looking at the second pack, we have some goodies. Mirror Image I found to be really, really good. And blue decks in general, just making your creatures, making like some synergy cards like Deckhand or one of your another flyer is really good to race in the air and clock your opponent. Rex Stage is good, but I don't think it's the second pick. It's still a decent card. Wallet Veteran I think is a really good card if you're going like red-white aggro. There's Rapid Bite, which is cool. Secrets, which is a good card if you're playing like a control deck. And Archer's all around decent card. Some of them these cards are just mediocre, but based on what we picked so far, it's coming out between the Mirror Image and the Harrimancer's Cage. I think I'll take the Cage. It's splashable even if we don't play white, and it's just a solid removal spell. And most people don't main deck enchantment or artifact removal, so it's pretty decent. Looking at this pack, we have some goodies still here too. There's a Sky Scanner, which I would love to take. There's also a Stag, which is pretty good, but I usually like Stag is towards the top end for like a tempo deck. So I'm not sure to really take that here. And there's also a Deckhand, which I think is the pick. I found this card to be really good, even though yes, they can target and kill it. Most cards that they would target it would kill it anyway, and many times they use like a trick or removal, which is good because it clears the way for your other cards. So I'm gonna take it here. Looking at what we have here, we have some cards, Dreadmaw, and Rapid Bite's pretty good if we went green. I don't see a reason to hedge into green just yet. Based on our colors, we have Essence Scatter, there's an Invoke the Divine, Loxodon Line Breaker, which is filler, Alien Vanguard. If we were going a little more aggressive, I would take the Vanguard, but I don't see that as a reason just yet. I'm gonna take the Essence Scatter. I think it's pretty good. It's a card that lets you have interaction in the early game, especially if you're on the draw. And it's an all-around solid card that you can still play in the late game. Usually good at most stages of development. So I'm gonna take that here. Okay, looking at this pack. Pick's gonna be Bugler. There's Take Vengeance here too, but I think the card's really awful. Yes, it can kill tapped creatures, but many people either play around it or have a series of vigilance creatures and the card's just dead. Or you just have to use the card and kill something you're not intending to use because your opponent plays strategically and just taps mediocre creatures. There's the Scour Barons too, but that's out of color, and Shock, which I think is underwhelming. It's not as well as position as it would be in other sets because the 2-drops are usually mediocre and you do stuff better than playing a Shock. So we're just going to take the Bugler. Okay. Looking at what we have here. There's one with the machine, which is cute, but I don't think we take this here. There's a Scholars of Star, which is okay. I don't like to glut up my 2-drop, my 4-drop slot, because I found that the 4-drop slot is very important in this format. And if you get glutted up, it can be really quite awkward, especially if your opponent has an aggressive start. There's Monolith too, but I'm not even sure we're ramping, so I don't think we take it here. I'm thinking we take the Cancel. Cancel's a solid card. We're not sure we're gonna go into control just yet, but I think it's good. The monolith probably could wield, and even if it doesn't, it's not a big deal. Okay, nothing much here for us. There's an uncomfortable chill we could take for the board against aggro, but I don't think that's the take here. I'd rather take either the Invoke the Divine or Scholar of Stars. Invoke the Divine is fine, but I think we'll take the Scholar. If we're gonna go the blue route, I think we will hit some late game drops that'll make it pretty good. Now there's Wall of Mist or Totally Lost. I think Wall of Mist is really good. If we hit like an Arcades, it could be really good, but I don't think we take it here. Nice Blood's cute too, but we don't have a lot of 2-drops, so I don't think we need to take that here. I'll take the Totally Lost for some interaction against our opponent. I think that 2-mana white spell is just borderline just unplayable. You really want something better than just trying to chump block and maybe kill a creature. There are better cards you can use as combat tricks in it. There's nothing here for us. There's a monolith, and a Highland Lake. I think I'll take the monolith. Now that we have the Scholar of the Stars, it helps turn on the Aerial Engineer, and it lets us draw cards from Scholar of Stars. And it does effectively the same thing as the dual land. Now here we'll take the Wall of the Mist. Not sure we'll run it, we'll main it, but we'll see. There's a second Mist we could take, or a Uncomfortable Chill. I'm not really fond of taking too many Wall of Mist, and I think it's quite passable. We can get more in another pack, so we'll take the Uncomfortable Chill to sideboard in against aggro. Okay, nothing here for us. I guess we can play this. Maybe we play a high tempo deck, and we can see if we can get there. Doubt we'll play this, but we'll see. And the rest is just not important. Revitalize is cute. We could sideboard that in as a cantrip against aggro. Deck overall seems okay. 10 playables, maybe 9. The Vanguard is iffy, but we'll see based on our 2-drops if we may take out the cancel and go into a blue-white tempo deck. Hoping to hit maybe something like a Mentor the Meek, Angel of Dawns, or something high impact, but we'll see. Looking at this pack, open a bit of nothing. Like, there's this Swift Claw, but I don't really like taking it because it just gets walled by almost anything at the 1 and 2-drop slot, so it seems pretty weak. There's a Suspicious Bookcase, which is cool because it is an artifact and lets the Scholar of the Stars and Angel Pioneer synergy work. But I don't think we want to take that here. I think it's a cool card, but I don't think we need to take it so quickly. I'll take the Avon Mage. If we go into a tempo route and we hit some like cantrips and draw power, it can be really good in most stages of the game. I love Supreme Phantom too, but we're going to have to go with the Pioneer. There's another Totally Lost, but I don't really like the card that much because I think it's just too costly for what it does. I hope this tables because it works well with the deckhand. I found it to be quite strong, but we're going to take the Pioneer and just go along the artifact route. Okay. Nothing much here for us. I guess we'll take another Essence Scatter. Just help us starve off the early game so we don't get out-tempoed. Let's just play on the draw more often. Okay. Not much here for us. Green was definitely open. That was a route we could have taken, but that's not the path we took in. There's another Wall of Mist, which I'm just not fond of. This is Ethereal Tunnel, but I think that most of our cards with evasion should potentially get to do the same thing. We'll take an Invoke the Divine, the sideboard. And I'm definitely happy to take this. This Pioneer is very sick. Making artifacts to make the Aerial Pioneer and the Scholar of Stars strong is really good. There's also a Mighty Leap, but I think it's replaceable, so we're going to take the Pioneer. Looking at this pack, there's a Dwindle, Knight's Pledge, and Ravine. And I think the Scholar is just mostly filler. You have a 3-drop that's pretty glutted, so I kind of want my 3-drops to be more high impact than that card. Not a huge fan of Dwindle. I don't think it's really that good, but we could use a bit of removal against like green decks that try to go big on the ground while we can swing in the air. It's the dual land too, but I don't think we need to take it that early. So I guess we're going to take the Dwindle. Okay, solid pickup, Deckhand. Way better than Omen Speaker. Solid card all around. Just no contention. Deck's looking pretty good. This is pretty iffy. We need to see how assertive our 2-drops are before we want to play the Vanguard. One with the machine is pretty cute. I'd rather try to hit some Gearsmiths before we play it, because then we can use it with like a Gearsmith and draw 5, which would be amazing. And trade up. So we'll see what happens though. I'd rather have like a Divination or something more solid and consistent. Hoped it maybe like something strong. This is our last pick for the first round of passes. We'll like another 2-drop. 4-drops are pretty glutted. We don't want that. I kind of want some cantrips and draw power too, but we'll see. Is Anticipate, which is pretty good. Drill Master and Daybreak are just filler and mediocre based on what we're doing. In Mighty Leap, we're playing a lot of flyers, so it seems a bit redundant. I'm definitely going to take this Mirror Image. Like, just to be able to copy a Deckhand or Engineer can just be so vital and so explosive. There's nothing here for us, really. I guess we can take this Swift Claw if we really want to go, like, more aggro. And on the play, maybe want to board it in. The Wall of Mist I don't really like. And I think being a tempo deck, we don't really want defenders. So we'll play this in the sideboard. And then all of this is filler. It doesn't really matter what we take. All filler, not important. Yep, none of these cards matter. Comfortable chill, sure. Not important. Don't really need the plummet. I have no reason to play green. I think the deck does well by itself. Psychic Corrosion is pretty cute. I have lost to this, but that's not the type of build we're playing. There's Anticipate and Divination, which I do hope to pick up at least one of them. Probably the Anticipate wheels, and someone takes the Divination, so I'm hoping to get that back. Right now, I'll take the Departed Deckhand. Like, our deck's looking very, very aggressive. So we definitely want to go that route. Now, there's a Encyclopedia, a Shift, and a Windrake. I think the Windrake is cool, but I don't want to take it here too early. I do like Sift to help us draw more cards, but I think here we're going to take the Encyclopedia. Monolith can go. I don't think it's going to be that important. Maybe we don't have much of a high end, and I kind of like this as a better artifact. Cancels on a chumping block because I have better plays than holding up a cancel on turn 3. I'd like to hit maybe a Luminous Bond to upgrade from this Dwindle, because I particularly don't think this card's really that good unless you're playing like blue-green and you have trample creatures. Okay, it's Pegasus Courser, which is okay, but our 2-drops already are unblockable, so it's kind of a bit redundant. Here, I'm going to take the Angel of Dawn. I think the card's really good. It's nothing much here that we need to take, and it's just a fine 5-drop. The 3/3 that anthems your board and gives them vigilance is really strong. Okay. Not sure I want to take a 3rd Essence Scatter. Like, sure, it's a way to kill creatures, but I don't think it's the pick here. But what do we really have going for us other than that? Like, we have like a Knight's Pledge, which I'm not fond of, and we only have 11 creatures, so I think we need to do something more impactful. Gallant Cavalry is cute, but we don't have a low curve, and I like it against like an Inspired Charge deck, but that's about it. Defender's a cool like 2-drop, but like I said, without like something like Arcades, I don't think the card's really that good. There's a Divination and a Bugler, which I think are one of the two picks that we're going to take. Do want a bit more draw power. Bugler is pretty good for card economy. I think I'll take the Bugler. We're down on creatures, and it just nets us card economy. Okay, this is definitely one we wanted. Another Gearsmith. Works for the Scholars and the Engineers, so that's just a fine pickup. Don't have much going for us in this pack. There's like this Tolarian Scholar, but like I said, it's pretty filler. I do like Thirsty Pack Feast. It does help us get back our Gearsmith, but it's only really one target, so I don't think we really want it. Take like a Naturalize and try to like play the Monolith and board in green, but I think the Invoke the Divine, we don't need it. And there's nothing really here else I want to splash. I guess we can just take another Essence Scatter. It's just the best card in the pack. There's a Sigh, which is pretty cool, but we don't have enough artifacts to make that card work particularly well. I do like Scavenger too, but I think here we're just going to go with the Gearsmith, just to have a bit more beef on the top end. Okay, there's an Inspire Charge, which is pretty cute. Makes our ground creatures able to attack. There's a Mighty Leap as well, but most of our creatures have flying, so it seems pretty irrelevant to play the card. I guess we take the Inspire Charge. Helps us to just like alpha and press for damage in the air, as well as make my deck hands hit for 4 on the ground and make them unblockable. Sure. There's nothing really here. Don't want to really splash any of this or have play Cyclic Corrosion or anything. Guess we take this dual land for the sideboard. Maybe there's like a late red card that we can consider splashing for, but I highly doubt it. There's nothing really here for us. I guess we can take a Mighty Leap, but I doubt I'll play it. Take this in case we're like on the play and decide to be aggressive. Don't want any more walls. Unexciting, just filler cards and late. Don't really see any reason to play any of these other cards. The Tectonic Rift could be a sideboard card if we play against like a flyer deck, and we can like board in the Highland Lake and play Monolith. Deck turned out okay, I guess. Dwindle's a bit of a stinker though. I do want a bit more draw power. I think Dwindle is just unexciting. I just don't really think the card's all that good. I want to try out this one with the machine. We have the Encyclopedia and double Gearsmith. And worst comes to worst, we can like just cantrip it with a Pioneer, which I prefer not to do, but is always an option. So this 17, I don't think it's that go that deep. We'll go 9-7 lineup. It's this. I think 9-8 because I want to play 10-7, but we have the double white for Gearsmith for Inspire Charge. I think 10-7 actually is fine because we're going to want to play the Inspire Charge quite late. Let's double check our colors to make sure. I think 10-7 will be fine. Actually, I'm going to go into a 9-8. It doesn't really hurt. We only have one blue spell that costs double blue, so it won't be that punishing to play. Another white source, and I really need to get that engineer online. Alright, so let's cast some spells and see how this deck works. Looks pretty decent, pretty solid. You have Cancel, and you have double Essence Scatters, triple Essence Scatter. So we most likely will be on the draw with this deck, since we have a really good early game. Library is really good for draw power. One with machine is quite iffy. Well, we can always board it out for the dwindle if it's really that bad, but I just want to test it. Seems good in theory. Got our first round, so we're about to start. First round of M19 draft. Waiting for our opponent to accept. I won the dice roll, but as I said, I prefer to go second with this deck. This hand is quite awful. I think it's still a keep. We're playing in the dark, so I don't know if they're playing like red-white or something aggressive. And I think we'll still be fine. Good draw. And now we have a 2-drop. That's cute, but we don't really care about it. We don't need to interact with it. So now we're going to go into a deck hand and pass the turn. Well, that was a bit early by my opponent. Could hurt, but we have planes, so just guard our lands. Hit for 2. Good, we have the Essence Scatter. We need to hit a land so that we can play our Engineer. Tries to go off to something dangerous. We have the Essence Scatter. The 1/1 attacking is just not that threatening. It's good to know he has the Mine Rock, so get more prone to keeping lands in our hand. Take the 1. Good synergy. Give props to my opponent. Love that combo. This is one of the reasons I love Mirror Image. Now my opponent has a 2/2, and it's quite irrelevant, so we're just going to swing through it. Hoping this Inspired Charge can get there in the late game and just make these deckhands hit swing for 8 unblockable. Not blocking it because there's just no point. I don't really care if they target this or anything, because then it just lets our top end get through without a problem. This thing gets double strike. That's quite scary. But I think that we are in a position to race him. So I'm going to play the Aven Mage. Worst comes to worst, we can like chump block with the flyer to make sure we're still ahead on damage. Mine are starting to haunt us a bit, but we'll see. This plays out. Caress is pretty bad. Now we're a bit behind on the damage race, so we're gonna need to draw land so we can chump this 2/2. Okay, no luck there. Think now we're gonna have to pump the brakes a bit. So we're gonna swing with 1, and then we're gonna have to chump block the token. I'm willing to take the damage so he doesn't play any more cards. If we draw land for Harrowminster's Cage, we could just cage the knight. I'm fine with him paying out to double strike. It means he doesn't develop his board. Don't have a clean answer to that, so we're going to Essence Scatter. That Mine Rod is starting to haunt me. Maybe we're supposed to like get rid of the Pioneer, but I think that in hindsight it still wasn't the right play to play it like this. It's quite brutal that Mine Rod might actually just lose us the game. Gonna have to chump block here. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I thought we had a good start, but that mine rot seemed to be backbreaking. I guess I wasn't supposed to get rid of all those lands, but I didn't know playing 17 lands that I would just not see anymore the rest of the game. Now I have to chump block. Yeah, that's it. Oh, disappointing. That mine rot turned to end up losing us the game. What can you do? Okay, game 2. Won a mighty leap. The machines didn't seem too hot that game. Still not opted for the dwindle. I think the mighty leap will be really important just to fight his flyers. You have to keep in mind now about the mine rot. Go on the play first because now we really need to establish a board presence against this guy. Fair enough. Get some beaters on some beaters down. Legmir is okay, but we can block it. Just can't be blocked by white creatures. She don't particularly care because most of my creatures fly anyway. Get this down. Start going for the beats in the air. Bugler just can't block anyway, so it seems a bit pointless to play it. Gonna have to outpace this new need. Take my medicine. Okay, Galleon can be a bit of a problem. Take another Bugler. It can block the ground game pretty well. It can't block the Plague, but I think that'll still be fine. Hope to hit a land so we can hold up Essence Scatter, because I don't really want to lose to an Angel of Dawn. So that's signaling a Trumpet Blast. Gonna run into it. If he wants to play a Trumpet Blast over a creature, that's fine with me. I need to soak up some of this damage. Great hit of Plains. Go into Militia. Hold up Essence Scatter. Sweet. Departed Deckhand. Now we have to put on the burners and go into a bit of a defensive mode right now. We're gonna get drained out by Neonate if we don't do anything, so we might as well start attacking. I think it's safe. We still have a cancel, so it's not too bad. We will have to deal with the Neonate eventually, but it's not too bad because we have the totally lost, then we can just totally lost into Essence Scatter. My word hurts, but we still have a lot of action in the deck, as well as in the hand, so we should be fine. We will have to get rid of the Neonate so I don't get drained out. See, I'm at 6. He's at 14. Do play a land. So we have the deckhand. Aviations. We could make it unblockable, but then he just drains and drains, and we still take 4 and lose. So what's the play? He has 2 in hand. Gonna get drained out. He's gonna go to 15. I'll go to 5. If we swing with the deckhand and the pioneers, he'll go to 8, then go to 9. Then he'll drain me. He'll drain me. Assuming he has nothing, we could go totally lost on upkeep. Upkeep totally lost. But then again, I'd rather just get in the extra points of damage with the deckhand, right? The deckhand and the aviations, because that'll be +2. Then I would hit for 8, put him to 6. He would drain me. He'll go to 7. We know he'll draw the Neonate, but we'll be tapped out. If he has a removal spell, we'll die. If we swing with a deckhand and 1 aviation, he'll go to 11. I'll go to 5. But then we don't press for lethal. If we do that, we can still hold back. Then we can block the aviation on the horse, and then we can chump the gallant. It's really a difficult situation we're in. You have to see is it worth attempting to run into it. What could he have based on the mana? You have a Mighty Leap. You have a Strangling Spores. Let's see. We don't need the Essence Scatter. We hit back the Neonate, because if he has nothing, we win. If he has a Strangling Spores in response, then what happens? Then we could easily get blown out. It's a difficult decision. I don't know if he has anything. If we go like this, and then we swing, then he goes Inspired Charge, Angel of the Dawn, we lose. Swing with both. Swing with the deckhand. We have the Angel of Dawn, we lose. We're not in a good position right now, and he can kill us. I think based on what we have, the right play right now is to attempt to go for it. Because this is the only option I really have, is to swing and just hope he has nothing. Otherwise, we'll just lose and get grind out by the Neonate. So you have to just hope he has nothing. I'll do it post-combat because that lets me know if he has the Strangling Spores. Looks like he doesn't, because he's going to drain me. Guess we just have to hope he doesn't have an answer. This, we know his top card is Neonate, so it has to be his 2 cards in hand to see if he could kill me. If he doesn't have anything, then we could simply just chump block, go to 1, and then make this unblockable and swing for 8 for lethal. Doesn't seem like he has it if he just plays that. Just gonna chump block and hope he has nothing. Go to 1. He's gonna take Vengeance, which is not important. Too important, I think. We can still chump block. It does hurt. Now we're in a position that it's kind of hurt us. Maybe we weren't supposed to swing with a deckhand. Yeah, we just don't get there. Yeah, okay. Hoping he didn't have anything, but fortunately he did. Take Vengeance was really bitter. I guess that's what happens, you know. I was hoping he didn't have anything, and it didn't turn out too well. Seeing that my next draw was a lane, I did need to press. Maybe we were supposed to wait a turn and then do that on upkeep, maybe. I'm not sure. Pass the turn. Attack 2. Go into a Bugler. See if we can hit another Pioneer and start to go off. We don't have an artifact just yet, but I would like to set up for it. Oh, image is even better. So now we have the mirror image for the deckhand, and we can start swinging for 4. Okay, looking at this now is a change of plan. I'm going to Pioneer, hope to hit the land, and then go into Engineer after. And then if we do that, then we can go Mirror Image in the Engineer and have 2 4/4 flyers. The Pioneer, as well as the Bugle, could double block the Courser, so we'll just hit for 2. Pass the turn. See what my opponent does. He may have like endurance, but I'm actually willing to run into the endurance because I'd rather him play a combat trick than play another creature. Because it gives us time to develop our board state. He wants to do that too, that's fine. Even trade 3/3 for 3/3, but I already got a card economy out of it, so it's still a +1. Okay, Green Speaker. Really love this card. I think it's one of the best 2-drops in the set, and I consider it a mythic uncommon. Slam this Engineer. Now we're gonna bash in for 3. Deck's starting to take off now. card already paid for itself. That's just so good. Now, that's a bit upsetting. It's gonna kill my artifact. So now this is a 2/4, which is pretty bad. Okay, but we have the Gearsmith. I think because we have the Gearsmith that we're actually gonna do this. Still want to hit in the air, so we'll copy it this time. Change of plans to make the Thopter token so we can swing for 6 and start clocking our opponent. Now my opponent has nothing. He's dead on board next turn. We have removal spells to deal with anything problematic like a giant spider. One machine looks nice, but we don't have another land for Gearsmith, and I don't want to draw a card with it. So we're just going to enter combat because he's dead on board if he has nothing. Since he did that, I'm going to make this unblockable so that we can put him to 1. Even if he kills a Thopter, is fine. So he's going to take, he's going to take 4 and go to 3. Still dead on board. You don't need to play anything. I don't really care for the mage. It's a land, sure. He has to deal with this departed deckhand or he will lose. He can't, so you get the game won. Alright. Don't say anything too amazing. We have to actually sideboard in. So we're just going to run it like this. Still testing the one with the machine. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's not. We haven't got a chance to really play it since we've been stuck on mana a bit, but maybe we can see it shine, you know, drop a Gearsmith into draw 5. Okay, this is a sketchy keep, but I think we still keep it. If we hit a land, we have Bugler and Encyclopedia. We can go also Encyclopedia into Engineer. Great. Okay, so we have a 2-drop. So now we just need to hit runner, and we should be in pretty good shape. Now I'm fine with 1 with the machine, playing it to draw 3 cards, because it's basically a Sith without the discard. Okay, so this is going to turn out pretty nicely for us. Deckhand, shift the turn. Sigmir's fine. We can still block it if we get desperate with the Departed, but I don't think we need to do that. Okay, so we hit our other land drop. So, Bugler can't block that, so I think it's pretty inefficient to do that. So now we're just going to go into the Pioneer route with the Encyclopedia. Plus with the 1 with the machine, we can draw 3 cards. Definitely liking this deck synergy. No play, so we'll take the 2. Pass the turn. It's pretty good. Now we have 6 points of unblockable damage against a 2/2, which I think is fine. Like I said, I'm fine with them using anything to kill the Departed deckhand. He might have like a Wreck Sage or something, but it's fine. And this 2 damage is just irrelevant when I'm racing him for 6. Thornhide Wolves, but we have the Harrowminster's Cage, so we're not worried about it. Gonna hold the land. Is there a reason to play the land for 5? You can go Deckhand Bugler, but I don't think that's relevant. I think I just need to make sure that we're outpacing him. I don't want to play the land in case he has a Mine Rot. So cage the wolf, and then we'll punch for 6. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 and go to 14. It's a Dreadmaw. That's a bit scary. Now I'm gonna actually play the land. If he has a Mine Rot, that's fine. I'd rather him waste his turn hitting cards out of my hand than dealing with that. He's at 6 at the moment. Points of damage we have on board. The Gearsmith blocks the Plague Mirror, but I don't think that's important. I'd rather just represent lethal. There's very little ways, unless he goes like Prodigious Growth, but even with that only does 12, and it puts us down to 2. And we can chump block with the Battalion, the Militia. Swing, put him in the same position as before. He's dead on board. He has to have something, even with the Prodigious Growth. That would only deal what he'd be 7, 7, 13. I would take 10. In the Plague Mirror, I can block with the Departed Deckhand. And get the match. So, a bit of an opposite from what happened in the first game. Let's go in the final round. We experimented with going on the draw, but now it looks like with the tempo of the play is just much better for us. So, moving forward now, instead of our original philosophy of going on the draw, playing this tempo deck, it's better to just be on the play. So, learning from the second round will be on the play. Hand's really good. We don't have many early plays, so would like to hit maybe like an Essence Scatter to starve off his plays while we set up our board state. It's a bit slow, but I still think it's a fine keep. Assuming we don't get aggroed out, we should be just fine. Nice, we have a 2-drop. Pass the turn. Hopefully, I would love to hit a Pioneer or an Encyclopedia to set up our plays. Okay, that's kind of annoying. That actually can block the Departed Deckhand. Don't have a play yet, so we'll just play another Deckhand. Pass the turn. It doesn't apply too much pressure. We'll still just swing with both, and then we can still get in for 2. Okay, that's not threatening at all. I like to get as much value of the Scholar of the Stars as possible, so we'll play the Engineer, and then we'll punch for 2, because we can't block it anyway, the Supreme Spirit. If he wants to equip it, that's fine with me. I'd rather him equipped and hit me for 2 more damage than play another body. Hit another land too, we can Inspire Charge and run of the Supreme Phantom, and making our Departed Deckhands unblockable again. Sure. Sure. Gearsmith's just not important. You can't block the deckhands. You can't attack because then he just takes 4. I'm playing the Scholar of the Stars. It just gets walled off by a 1-drop, and I don't want them trading up. Can't attack now because of the axe. I like to hit another land for Gearsmith so that this engineer can start punching through the Supreme. If we hit up planes, we're definitely just going to go off because he seems mana screwed, so there's very little he can do with that mana to deal with my board. Based on him tapping his land, he doesn't have another land just yet. Gargoyle is fine, still can't block efficiently if we draw a land. He can't attack, he has no good profitable attacks. Okay, so we're kind of starved off for lands, but we'll play the Bugler. Hit nothing. All those lands I went to the bottom. Maybe we weren't supposed to play it in case of that, but there's no way I could hit a land. Pass the turn. So we're both a bit stuck on mana. Gonna put the axe on the Gearsmith, which is fine because I'll just block with the Militia. Militia can't go over the Gargoyle, so it's just not doing anything here. He has to trade up, but I think that's still fine. Most likely I'll just move the axe back to the Supreme so the deckhands can't attack. Sweet. So now it comes down to, do we want to play the Gearsmith and then swing, or do we play the Inspired? I think based on what we have, I'd rather just Alpha Strike. He's tapped out. He blocks with the Gargoyle, he gets blown out. He blocks with one creature, we'll still even block Inspired just to kill the Supreme Phantom. Yeah, I like this. It gets a boost. Take a million. Go to 5. It's excellent. He's in an awkward position. He needs to hold up 3 to block my flowers, but he needs to also develop his board state. That's fine. So he seems to be playing an artifact strategy like me, so you're going to bring in the board in the Invoke the Divine post side. It's going to Luminous the deckhand, which is fine. It's not important. If he has nothing else, then that should seal the game. Okay, so this is round 1. Well, game 1 of round 3, and it looks like we're going to close this up and go to sideboarding. Yep, and he concedes. So definitely bringing this. Don't want any combat tricks or anything because he's playing blue, so bounce is a bit of a problem. Plays flyers, so I don't like to try to aggro him out with like the Falcon, which I would do. Need to make a cut. I guess the most passable one is 1 with the machine. Gave it a shot, but it's just, I don't think we have an artifact consistency enough to play it. On the draw, this hand is fine. Definitely have a hand that can start off pressure, so this is definitely an ideal draw hand. The Bugler, which is pretty good. Let's see if we want to play based on what my opponent does. This is a Supreme Phantom. I would have liked to negate that, but it's fine. Causing me a bit of problems, that 1-3. I'll take 1, that's fine. Oh, now this is very awkward. Needed to play a creature. We would have had to cancel for the sword. Now we're in very, very bad shape. We need a way to deal with it. I have to start developing my board state. Didn't take the bugler because we can't tap out anymore because of this sword. It's quite problematic now because now this thing has vigilance, so I can't even attack the deckhand. It's kind of upsetting. If I was on the play, that this would have happened. The cards would have lined up way well on the play versus the draw. I'm not sure if we can actually beat the card, but we'll see. On the bright side, the militia does wall the token, so we're only taking 3. Need to draw my Invoke the Divine. Do not hit. Yield to that because we're not going to do anything in response to it. Now we're in a bit of trouble. We need to hit another lane for Angel of Dawn. Let it happen. Sweet. So now we hit the Devoke Divine. You have to cast it now. You don't want him to have a cancel, so we want to do that right now. Profitable attack, so we'll pass the turn. That was a sweet rip. He's a gargoyle, that's fine. He doesn't want to trade 1 for 2, so he's going to pass the turn. Bit dry on lands. You can play the Avern Mage, but if he plays Gargoyle, swing up, then it does nothing. I'm gonna just pass. We really just need to hit lands. Kind of frustrating playing 17 and being mana screwed, but it's gonna happen sometimes. Has an axe. This makes his creature a 3/3. You can have like a 5/3 gargoyle. I don't think that's something we need to stop. That's fine. So put it on the. He pays 2 for. Put it on the gargoyle. It does nothing. You can put it on the phantom, which is okay. It's on creeper. I don't really care. I'll trade the bugler because it can't even block. I can't swing through the gargoyle anyway. This because this is a useless blocker on the ground at the moment. It's likely he's just going to put on the Supreme Phantom. Oh no, he just passed the turn. Okay. Maybe that card is not a land. I went to Gearsmith. Essence Scatter is fine. Happy with that. We have another one in hand. We have an Angel of Dawn too. Now he can hit me for a lot of damage, so we are in a bit of trouble. Do really need to hit some lands. That would have been nice to negate. That's alright. Yeah, but we have one in our hand, so we can wall that off. Take one. At the mercy of his top decks, but I don't think we can really just sit here. Punch for 2. Is the gargoyle flying? Okay. It's probably a land he drew. If he alphas, then we're just gonna have to trade Gearsmiths. Yeah, which he does. Okay, go down to 10. Okay, another land. We have 6. Fortunately, I'm kind of another reason why I wanted like more cantrips so that we can make this Avon Wood Mage work, but that's not the case. I think the best play right here is just to play the Angel Dawn because we need to get this Supreme Phantom off the board so we can swing with our Departed deckhand. That's the turn. Swings with the Supreme, I'll block it. Swing with Gargoyle, we won't block it because I'd rather just make a Thoppler token to chump it. And Mirror Image would just be a better play. I'll take that. I wish I had more lands, but that's not the case. Can't keep holding up negation mana. So we're gonna go Pioneer. This will wall up the Thopter, as well as give us a chump blocker against the Gargoyle. Could have waited to play the Mirror Image, but I think we need to press now. And we need blockers now. Great, so he's going to block with that. He doesn't know we have another deckhand, so that's going to be quite useful because now the deckhand can get in. Okay, so he's finally going to trade it in the cantrip for a card. He can, okay, I was about to say he can't do both, but now he can. He's going to Luminous Bond, which is fine. You can put the axe on it, the scanner, but the Thopter blocks it efficiently, so it's fine. Okay, I wish I'd had a few more blue islands. That'd be nice, but We can't attack with the angel because he blocks this and then makes this start attacking and we can't trade profitably. I think we're just going to go into Deckhand into Avon Mage. I don't know what's in his hand, but we really do need to start applying pressure. And I don't think this is the time to keep shields up, because opponent's in top deck mode, so we're in a position that we can start developing our board state. Now the decision is whether we want to start making our creatures unblockable, or do we just swing with the Deckhand? Opponent's in top deck mode. One argument is that maybe that we hold up the cancel, because now we're in a position that we can easily just win in a few turns, but how fast do we want to win is the concern. We'll hold back the Thopter to stop the scanner. Now the thing is with the Gargoyle, because I am pretty low in life, I think, because we do want to hold back the Angel in case he wants to go with the Gargoyle. It's a bit tricky. If we make it unblockable, that puts him on a 3-turn clock. Basically, 3-turn clock. I think what we do is that since the Avon Mage is pretty bad right now, and there's nothing I can really do with it, I can't hold up cancel forever, and we do need to start clocking our opponent. See, that would be 4 damage. This would be 7. That'd be a 3-turn clock. It doesn't help us to do anything with it. We could play another land and make another creature unblockable, but I don't think that's necessary. I'm going to pass the turn and hold up Essence Scatter. It's quite awkward. I drew all my planes when I play more islands than planes, but it's going to happen sometimes. On the bright side, we only have maybe 2 more planes left in the deck. It's fine. That's fine with me. Angel of Dawn will block that, no problem. Fine doing this trade. This clears the way for Pioneer to swing on the ground. There's 2 in hand. We do need to hold back the Thopter for the scanner. Question becomes, do we want to play the Deckhand so that we put shields down for the cancel or for the Essence Scatter? I think given what we're doing right now, I think we want to trade off this, get this scanner off the board. And I want to keep the cancel because I don't see myself really losing if the game goes on long enough. I doubt it's gonna matter. He's probably gonna. We want to force him to chump block. So this all comes down to whether he chump blocks or not, and he says yes. Now we're more confident to play this because now he needs to develop his board state. There we have it. Well, no trophy here today, but did pretty well. Coming back from an 0-2, first round loss to winning back-to-back rounds for a 2-1 finish. Thank you for watching, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Until later, see you then.